A lot of couples have a cute story about their first kiss.
Yeah, definitely, but very few have one like the couple we're about to introduce you to. It happened on their first date. It was a day at the beach, but then everything didn't go as planned. Max Montgomery had finally worked up the courage to ask Andi Traynor out. For their first date last October, they went surfing near Montgomery's home in Santa Cruz, California. But Montgomery's perfect day was almost his last. As they walked back from the water with their surfboards, Montgomery suddenly collapsed. The 56-year-old was having a heart attack. Luckily for him, Andi Traynor is a doctor and knew exactly what to do. She turned him over and began CPR, their first kiss, helping to save his life. The whole episode was caught on camera by a man filming time-lapse video. Help arrived quickly. But Montgomery was still unconscious when paramedics carried him off the beach. He woke up in the ambulance. The following day, he had bypass surgery to repair a blocked artery. Montgomery survived, and his relationship with Traynor flourished. 10 months later, his heart is strong and full. Indeed, in every sense of that, right? We're joined now by Max Montgomery and his heroic girlfriend, Dr. Andi Traynor. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, that's a story. Okay, so, I mean, you're out there. I don't even know who to ask first. Andi, did you feel like, gosh, this is a first date? Is he joking? Like, should I get in there? And seconds matter in a situation like that.
Yeah, we were walking up the beach and he collapsed, and my first thought was, did he trip?
Yeah.
And then my second thought was, okay, he does not seem like the kind of person that would be playing a joke on me.
Yeah.
And so I turned him over and immediately realized that he was not responding to me and knew that there was a problem.
You just went into doctor mode.
I called for help.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Max, I mean, here's the thing. As I understand it, you're super active. You're a runner. You're a paddle boarder.
Yep.
Did you know that you were sick at all until you collapsed?
Not until I dropped. I mean, basically, there's heart disease in the family. My dad's dad died of a heart attack at 48. My dad's sister died of a heart attack at 48. My dad had stents at 69, but I'm active. I ran 10.4 miles the night before, so the last thing I thought would be that I'd be having a heart attack.
Yeah, but it was a serious heart attack.
Yeah. If she's not there, I'm dead.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you feel that Andi saved your life?
Absolutely.
If you had been on a date with an attorney, you'd be dead.
And she would have sued me, maybe.
I mean, this is your first date, so you really didn't know each other all that well. So what happens next? Are you like, well, it's not the usual, is he going to call situation? Did you go over to the hospital?
So when they took him away in the ambulance, I had a lot of thoughts running through my head. The first of which was, what kind of luck is this? Like, this is terrible. I can't believe that I don't know what just happened, but I think he just died on me, you know? And so, yeah, I didn't go to the hospital right away for multiple reasons. The paramedics told me to stay. That was one of the biggest ones. And then also I needed to, kind of tie things up, make sure somebody could watch my kids so that I could go to the hospital later, and just try to wrap my head around what I was going to do next.
Yeah. So, Max, here's the thing. We saw the first kiss. How was the second kiss? Was it a little bit better than that?
Oh, it was much better. Yeah.
Well, for one thing, you remembered it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you did end up together, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, actually, when she came and visited me in the hospital, I said, who wants to be with the guy that had just had a heart attack? I understand if you run for the hills. And she said, no, I'm here. This is where I want to be. Yeah.
And you've turned this whole thing into quite the cause. What do you have there?
Yeah. So these cards, our foundation, Paddle for Good, we, among things in terms of helping people understand what they need to do if someone has a heart attack, we have a program called Help a Heart CPR, and we just want to get as many people's hands as possible on AED devices and CPR dummies, compressions to the beat staying alive.
Yeah.
There's a free smartphone app called PulsePoint AED. You could open it up right now, press the button, and it would tell you where the closest AED is, and that's the thing that shocks a heart back into life.
Yep. And you're living proof of how important it is.
It's literally that simple.
Did you know CPR before all this happened?
I didn't.
Yeah, and now
I do it. Well, actually, we become CPR instructors and are teaching other people.
Story.
It really is.
What a great story.
Thank you so much. Congrats. And the fact that there was a camera there, I don't even know what it means. Wild.
Amazing.
Just happenstance. Max and Andi, thank you.
Thank you.